every single time. So we hope you stay with us and get out your pen and paper or take some notes, because I promise you, you will learn something that will help your business.
Excellent. Thanks, Tannen. All right, everybody else, for ICONversations, we're ready for you to go ahead and take the stage. If you'd like to test your mics, that would be great. And Tannen, thank you for co-hosting with me this morning. I've enjoyed it very much. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, Judy.
Hello, everyone. This is Heidi Rose from Oklahoma. Can you hear me?
Hey, Heidi, we can hear you.
Hey, Tannen. Well, welcome. If you need to, I'll take a little restroom break, grab a cup of coffee, and then come back and join us while our panelists get on the stage, and we'll bring you a Female Packed Friday.
Hi, everyone. It's Danielle Paluccio. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, Danielle. Kristen, do we have you?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to chime in. It's Kristen Vining.
All right, so we have Kristen, Danielle, Tannen, and myself this morning. Kelly had to go to a closing and she won't be able to join us. So we'll get started. If you all would start introducing yourselves, and Tannen, since you already have the floor, let's give it back to you and tell everybody a little bit about yourself and kick it off.
Sounds good. Well, good morning. I'm Tannen Teston. I'm from Orlando, Florida. My husband and I, we have a team here, and it's just the two of us. We have gone from small team with a few agents to back to just my husband and myself, taking on our business. And we do probably about 50 to 60 transactions a year. I've been in real estate for 5 years, but prior to that, I did 17 years of title, real estate closings, and managing a title office. And so I knew the business pretty well, and I took that into my real estate career.
Awesome, and welcome to the stage. Kristen, tell us a little bit about you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kristen Vining. I am half of a husband-wife team. We are based out of the Carolinas. We're dual licensed, both South and North Carolina. We sit right on the border of Fort Mill, South Carolina, and Charlotte, North Carolina. We are a small team of about 9 right now, and we our volume is on average anywhere from 35 to 40 million per year, and that's primarily based on all referral business. So really excited to be here. We just crossed over our 3-year mark, so we're really excited to just be part of this amazing organization and all the forward growth that we've got going right now.
Awesome, welcome to the stage, and I love your colorful picture. Danielle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle Paluccio. I'm based out of Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been in real estate since 2004 and been with EXP just for about 1.5 years now. Last year, I was a solo agent. I did 43 transactions for just over 23 million. And I just started a new team this year, and I have 2 full-time agents and a great support staff as well. So happy to share some great things today, and love to be here.
Awesome, and my name is Heidi Rose. I'm from Oklahoma, and I run a small family team that consists of my husband, my daughter, and myself. But let's get started on our panelists. What's your #1 priority every single day? What do you make sure that you do every day? Tannen?
Well, first and foremost, so even though my husband and I, our business is primarily referrals or repeat customers, where our phone is ringing, I always have that gut feeling of, where's our business going to come from? Like, where's our next business going to come from? Or is my phone ever going to stop ringing? And what are we going to do if that happens? So I never want to get to that point where my phone stops ringing. So I'm always being proactive in going out and getting that business and making sure my phone rings. So every day I go over, I've got my paper, my pen, and I go over a list of what I need to do in order to do that. And one of the things that we do for our business is we're very big into farming and community. So I've got 3 different lists. I go over, okay, what am I going to do for my community today? What am I going to do for my farming? Part of that is I volunteer a lot with our schools, elementary, middle, and high school. So I write down my list. What can I do to help my schools out today, help my community out today. We're part of the social committee and HOA boards. So I've got that list. And then I've got reaching out to my sphere. I also have a habit of sending out 5 CMAs to people I know every single day, whether they've asked for them or not. I just proactively say, you know what, I'm going to send them some information on their homes and what their value is. So I got that on my list. And then I also write 5 cards every day. I send out handwritten cards to 5 people I know that I look for clues as to who deserves a card or who should I reach out to and do a handwritten card to, and I send those out.
Excellent. That's awesome. All right. Kristen, tell us, what do you do every single day? What's your priority? And also, audience, if you have any questions, I'm going to watch the chat, so feel free to add it in there. We'll also at the end have an question and answer session. But if you have something in the meantime, I'll read the chats and see if we can address it. So Kristen, go ahead. What is your #1 priority every day? What do you do every single day?
Yeah, absolutely. First, Tannen, those are fantastic. Those are all things, just to kind of echo what you just said, that our team really strives for and is on our high priority list, to just come from a place of value and in making sure that we're continually educating our past clients, our prospective clients, and our current clients likewise. But the one thing for me personally, and for really our entire team, that is that we're trying to make a non-negotiable. It's so hard to be consistent all the time, but we've got such an amazing and free tool. Every single one of us sitting in the audience right now and on this panel, we have a free tool, and it's called social media. And we have for years just really dug deep into that. And it is a non-negotiable on our team that you have to post daily. And if you can post multiple times a day over all of your channels, be it Facebook or social or Instagram or LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever your preference is. But for us, it's a non-negotiable because it's the way for us to reach the masses, and reach the masses with a really loud voice. People want information. People want to be educated. People want to know what's happening in real estate, even if they're not in the market at the time. And it's our largest assets. So if you're not a homeowner, you want to be a homeowner. So we try to do it in a really funny way. Each of us have different personalities on our team. So while one may have a bit more of a conservative approach with their sphere, the next one may be, posting a picture of this natural spring that happens to be in the basement of a home that they're using as a swimming pool. And it just gets loudly loved and liked on social media. But the idea there, guys, is to always be in a constant state of top of mind with your sphere, because it's usually in the 11th hour, right, where we're laying in bed and we're talking to our spouse, and it's like, oh my gosh, Kristen posted this amazing kitchen, and babe, maybe we don't need to change the countertops because of the costs involved there, and are we going to get that value back when we go to sell the house? So maybe we should just go buy a house, and I'm going to call Kristen in the morning. So it's in those times where you want to be top of mind when people are ready to kind of enter into the housing market. So for us, daily, non-negotiable, it's posting on whatever social media channel our team is comfortable using.
Awesome. That's incredible. Danielle, how about yourself?
Well, just to play off of Kristen, I agree social media is a great thing, but don't always make it about real estate. You need to sprinkle in some happy, good feeling things to keep your audience's attention. So on our social media page, we also make sure we sprinkle in some nice quotes, inspirational things, give it real estate, but also give it a little bit of kindness and personality. And people like to tune in because they don't want real estate constantly thrown at them. But that being said, every day for me, first thing in the morning, I sit down and I do my to-do list. I do a to-do list for me, and I do a to-do list for my assistant to make sure that we prioritize the things that need to happen that day. And I need to do it every day because every day things change. I just had a contract cancel last night, so things have to change today for what I had planned yesterday. And that's a daily thing, is to prioritize and make sure what needs to get done today first gets done first, and put it in the order of priority. And on my to-do list, there's 3 columns. There's what needs to be done today. The second column is what needs to be done by the end of the week. And the third column is what needs to be done by the end of the month. So I have things that rotate in and out of columns, and then I add the priority things on my first column.
Excellent. All right, so now we'll get into it. Maybe this was in your last response, but everybody here in the audience, I'm sure, is always asking, what is your most effective lead generation tool or process? Tannen? Did we lose you, Tannen?
Sorry, I turned my microphone off. So part of what my everyday to-do list is also how we generate the most of our business, and it's through making connections. Every day, that's how we get our business, is through connections, whether it's new business that's coming in that people I've never met, or referrals or past customers. It's all through our connections. So when I joined my husband had been a realtor for 8 years when I joined him, and we started our team. And one of the things that was troubling me was like, okay, we know the same people. All of our friends are the same. We run in the same groups. How am I going to add to this business and add transactions if I'm talking to the same people he is? So I said, I need to get out there and I need to start making connections and getting to know people so that I can build business as well. And that's what I did. So every day, my priority is going out there and connecting with people. And I do that through volunteer work. I do that through leadership in our community. I do that through joining groups. Every group I could possibly have joined, it is bunco, wine clubs, book clubs, social committees, the architectural review boards, PTA. And I don't just take a join this group and here I am. I join these groups and then I take an active leadership role, and I wiggle my way up to the top so that everybody in these groups knows who I am. They can recognize me at the grocery store. They know what neighborhoods I work in. When they see their signs, they put it all together. So I may not be talking about real estate on a daily basis with everybody, but I'm connecting with them to where they know me, they trust me, they recognize me, they know what I do, and they know how to get a hold of us. And our phone rings just from that. So this year alone in our neighborhood, we're at about 3.5 million that we've gotten just from people calling us and saying, hey, you know what? We know you work in our neighborhood. We know you work in the area. And I do have a realtor friend, but we like what you do and we like how you give back to the community. We want to use you guys. And it took our business from when I joined my husband, he was doing about 2 transactions a year in our neighborhood. We're now doing 20 transactions a year. And we're the #1 agents in our zip code. And 100% it comes from connecting with the people around us. And that works very well with our sphere and with our past customers, continuing to connect with them, whether it's a handwritten card to congratulate them on birth of a grandbaby or kids going off to college. I'm always telling our agents around us, look for clues. Look for those clues that you can go around and connect with people and have a reason to talk to them, because when you make connections and you start having conversations, those conversations will eventually turn into real estate, and it turns into contracts and closings. So keep making connections.
Shannon, how large is your neighborhood?
Our neighborhood is 1,200 homes.
1,200. Excellent. All right, Kristen, what is your most effective lead generation tool or process?
Can I just say everything Tannen just said? That was
Of
awesome.
course, can't we all?
Tannen, you nailed it, girl. It is so true. For us as well. It's about the relationships, and it's about loving on people, and it's about really wanting to do that, really caring about that. this is, I loved how she said that she not only gets involved with her community, but she wiggles her way up. And that's really that's where the sweet spot is at, because you don't wiggle your way to the top because you don't want to. You really love it. You're passionate about it. And so my biggest piece of advice to everyone out there is to, dig deep into something that you love, because the things that we love, we want to do. The things that we are scared of, or the things that, we don't find a lot of joy in, we hesitate to do, and we find it to be more of a chore, and then it never gets done. And so, if that's something that you find as a roadblock in your world or in your life in the real estate sector, then that's, maybe it is time for you to grow a team. And that's one of the first pieces that you start to leverage out, is to get somebody that is really highly focused on customer service and customer care. But yeah, I really do echo everything that Tannen just said in terms of how our business works. And again, just for us, go back to social media, because it's just such a great platform to be able to continue to touch our sphere and love on our sphere. And, sometimes it's not about, it's just words, right? Words are the most impactful thing in our lives, or one of the most impactful thing in our lives. And when there is a new baby born, or somebody's gotten married, or, whatever the case is going on in their life, I mean, we really try to stay connected with what's happening with them so that we can share and celebrate alongside of them.
Danielle, do you have anything to add on your most effective lead generation tool process? Similar? Do you do something different?
I do something different. My lead generation, my best lead generation is my sphere. I focus 100% on my sphere, and I'm training my agents to do the same. Both of my agents are newer agents. One's brand new, one has only been around about a year and a half, and we are tapping into their sphere. And people need to know that you are a real estate agent, especially if you're a brand new agent. They need to know. I saw something in the chat says, well, do you wear your real estate hat on when you go to events? Oh, hell yeah, I do. I have a team logo shirt that I wear, and I wear it to every school function. I wear it when I go grocery shopping, as long as I look good. Because you want to make sure you look good and professional. But yeah, you have to let everyone know. Do you know how many times grocery store clerks would talk to me about real estate? I had one ask me for my card when I was checking out. She's like, oh, me and my husband are thinking about doing real estate. Could I have your card? I mean, it happens. People need to know that you are in real estate. You need to let everyone in your sphere know. You need to enter your sphere into your database, and you need to start sending them things that are important. Anything that during holidays, I always send a little something, like St. Patrick's Day, we send a scratcher's card. For Father's Day and Mother's Day, we hit our fathers and mothers with little gifts, and it doesn't have to be expensive. You can do it in person, face to face. We are at the point where our database is too big, so I have to do mailers, but I try and do things face to face if I can. We send out a monthly newsletter. We send out a letter of the heart, which is basically just a fun, heartwarming story via email. So it's a positive thing that people want to open, and it makes them feel really good. There's lots of ways to touch your sphere, but your sphere is the ones that are going to give you the chance. If you try to do some cold call leads, and people find out you don't have much experience as a new agent, that's a very, very hard fought battle when you have top agents in your area that.
We lost your mic, Danielle. Can anybody hear her, or am I just not hearing her?
No, I can't hear.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if Danielle can get her mic back. So what I want the audience to get across is there isn't really one way of doing this. I've done this for 21 years. I've been a realtor. I've been on a team. I am a team. I've been a single agent. And over the years, it changes. It ebbs and flows. One year, for a couple of years, we were the expired, king and queen of the area. We worked all expireds. Didn't like that. We were farmers. Then we, social media. So, and you have to go with what's your comfort level and what can you stick to. Right now, I don't like going to all the bunkos. I've done all of that. So I'm trying to find another way where I can get my time back that is still cost productive. So if you're in the audience and you're like, well, I'm not an extrovert, I don't want to do all that stuff, there are other ways too. So don't think that there's just one way of doing things. Danielle, do you have your mic back yet? All right, well, I'm going to go back to I'm going to go to a next question. This is a little different question that we've seen in some of the other conversations that I added. And some new of you, and some of you put a little bit of these questions in there, but right now, Tan and Kristen, Danielle, if you were starting out and you had only $1,000 that you could spend on your business, where would you spend it? Tannon?
I think with our panel, you're going to see a lot of similarities, and I love being able to piggyback off of both Kristen and Danielle for this question because I'm going to tie them both in together. So when I joined my husband, we had $0 for marketing budget. So what did we do? We utilize what's free to us. One is our time, as I've been saying, and then two, social media. I mean, what better advertisement can you do than using these free platforms to show the world what it is that you do and how you do it? So we did that. But one thing we also did was reach out to our sphere. And instead of doing just sold postcards to our neighborhood or community or to a house that, you know, we sell a house in XYZ neighborhood and we do it just sold there, nobody knows us there. That card, we know it's going to get thrown away no matter where we send it. But if I send it to a neighborhood where nobody knows me, it's going in that garbage a lot quicker than if I send it out to my sphere and tell them, hey, I just sold a house. It doesn't matter if they live in that neighborhood. It doesn't matter if they're in the market to buy or sell. It doesn't matter if they even know where that house is. But what does matter is they know that we're doing business and we are making things move and shake here in Orlando. So we've got a list of about 200 people that's in our close direct sphere. Those are who gets our postcards every single month. And it's super cheap. I want to say we spend less than $150 to get these postcards done. And we do that every single month. And we do a just sold, just listed. We'll do a review the next month. We'll do a market update the next month and something fun, a picture of us with interesting facts about us the next month. So we change it up every month, but that's who we're advertising to as far as who are we doing our business to. So not only are they seeing us on social media and how productive we're being, even if you're not productive, show them you're productive, pretend you're productive, fake it till you make it, host your open houses, go and see new construction and show them how productive you are on social media, and then remind them with the just listed, just sold that they're getting in their mailbox. And even this morning at the gym, one of the girls at the gym, and I find anybody I know, I get their address and they own a house, I get them on this postcard list. And she told me just this morning, she said, hey, I just got your postcard in the mail. And so I know they're seeing it and they're recognizing it and they're holding on to it a little bit longer than the stranger who lives in the neighborhood I just sold a house in. So that's my $1,000.
Awesome. Kristen, where would you spend your 1,000?
That's a great question. So we've been in the business for 6 years. Looking back, it's I hate to get it, Tana, you've got it dialed in, girl. It goes back to your sphere. It went back to social media. We were $55,000 in debt when we came into real estate, and we had zero marketing dollars. So for us, it wasn't an option to do anything but, again, get out there and pass out warm, fuzzy words and education and value and just love on them. But if I had $1,000 at that time in which to do it, I would have probably partnered that, along with those words. I would have partnered my words with something yummy. We had a cake company prior to coming into real estate. My husband was called Bum's Rum Cake, and he just makes these delicious rum cakes. So I probably would have taken that $1,000, put it into rum cakes, and hand delivered that with a CMA and just some fluffy words, just loving on them. I do, Tana, that's a great idea in regards to the postcards. You are so right. So just to piggyback on that, some other things that we've done over the years in the very beginning to get our name out there, we would, throw banners with the athletics, like up on the athletic fields of the rec teams that our kids played. And I always found it interesting, the banners that I saw out there that they didn't have children or didn't have someone that they knew that were in that league, and that they weren't also participating in coming out to the game. So I don't know, how do I say this? I feel like if you're going to go that direction with putting banners out there, that you need to be there, because you need to be able to talk to those people, build relationships with those people, because that's just another touch. The banner's not going that, you don't look at a baseball field, look at the banner and go, okay, I'm going to pick up that company tomorrow and call, because at the end of the day, everybody has a realtor friend or everybody knows a realtor. So you're not really standing out. I feel like that sort of advertising, be it a postcard that you're mailing to someone outside of your sphere, if you go that direction in farming a neighborhood, if that's important to you, that you just, it goes back to relationships. So Tannen, I love the fact that you send the postcards to the people that you know, versus to a bunch of people in a neighborhood that they don't know you, because that type of farming takes years to build. And I've got a lot of friends, like even like David Upchurch, he does it so successfully, but it's taken years of consistent postcard farming in which to be able to drive the kind of numbers that he drives as a result of that marketing. But $1,000 for me, I would have put food in their tummies and still kept loving on them with warm, fluffy words.
Agree on the farming. We're huge farmers, but farmers are not overnight, as a farmer would be. You're not going to have overnight crops, so it does take a little bit. How about you, Danielle? Where would you spend that $1,000?
I agree with these ladies. Same thing on my clients. Most of my marketing dollars are on my clients. So if you can do something that stretches it, especially as a new agent, if you don't have a very large database and you can do one thing a month, get a little something, bring it, save the postage, bring it to your clients, have some face-to-face time to your sphere, bring your hairdresser or something, bring them something good to eat if you want it. If, food is always a good way to people's hearts is through their stomachs. Bring something to people that have some chats, have them give you an opportunity. The other thing too is to bounce off of the social media, constantly post pictures of homes that you're seeing. If you haven't sold a home, you can give the perception that you are super busy by just posting pictures of homes. Oh, I saw this home today. Go and tour homes on your own. Go to new home communities and do a little video in front of a new home community. You can reach all your people out there, but my $1,000, like the other ladies, right to my clients.
Absolutely. Here's where I spent my $1,000. When I left my team, I went out and I wrapped my car. On the back half of my car, I had an SUV and I was bringing my kids to school every day. I wrapped the back half of my car. Yes, you have to drive better and be polite. So I knew that I was going to dedicate it for 2 years. I wore it, which we all asked. I wore my company name on my t-shirt. I hate name tags. So I just made sure I had a company something on all the time. I went to a local cookie store that was close to where I lived in the market area that I wanted, and I made a deal with her that I would advertise her cookies, that I would give them for free if they would go into her store. And all I would do is check in with her every week and see how many people came in, and I would pay her, and she gave me a discount for doing that because I was promoting her. And using all of those combined and together, got my farm growing, got my name back out there and around everybody. People were like, man, you're everywhere. And all I was doing was running errands, but I looked busy. So those are the places that I spent my $1,000 that I feel worked for me. Oh, and also on my database. I believe everybody has to have a database. That's where you should start, and a database that makes you do things, that has action plans that you will do, that give you what you're supposed to do all day long. So my next question, and kind of where your database will take you, is, ladies, how do you track your business? Do you track your business, and what are you tracking? Tannen?
100%. You have to track your business. You have to treat this like a business. So the first thing that's on my list, I'm old school Excel spreadsheet. First thing that's in the very first column is, where did this business come from? What's the source? Is it a referral? Is it farming? Is it KV Core Lead? Whatever it is, Facebook, I want to know at the end of the year where our business came from, so I know how to continue to grow that and focus our time and energy on what's being successful. I also, track names, addresses as a buyer seller. Important for me is list price versus sold price, because I use that when we go on our listing appointments to show the sellers, this is what our list to sold price ratio is. And that's how we track our business. Old school Excel spreadsheet.
Kristen?
So we, for years, have been using CTE, which is Commitment to Excellence. I'm going to put a link in the chat box so that everybody has it. It is an Excel spreadsheet that's based in the cloud on crack, if I can say that. Like, it's just crazy. And it tracks every last stinking number that you would want tracked, just like Tannen was saying, from your list to your closed to your to where your business is coming from, dates, closing dates, great for teams. They've got these fun little graphs in there that kind of show you where you're on track to your goals. So we've been using it probably the last 4 or 5 years, and it's fantastic because we can see year over year by the click of a button. And especially for the new agents that are getting started, if you get this implemented into the in the infancy stages of your business, it'll be fun to be able to look over years past, having everything in one spot. So I'll pop that link into the chat box.
How about you, Danielle? What are you tracking for your business? Or are you? I'm sure.
I track everything. I have a bookkeeper that tracks all of my financials, my marketing dollars, whatnot. So he gives me a P&L every month. And then for my sales, we track everything on an old-fashioned Excel spreadsheet. I like to track where we sold versus where we listed, if we're with buyers, where our offer was in comparison to the appraisal. So we have stats, and we keep a list of stats that we can then convert and use in marketing materials. So, and those marketing materials go to our clients and in our monthly newsletter.
Awesome. Okay, so now with the change in the market and things have shifted a little bit, what are you doing differently this year than you did last year to improve your numbers? Shannon?
This year, we are actually seeing a very good success rate with utilizing the free EXP Workplace Referral Group. 100%. If you're not on top of that group, get on top of it. There is so much business between EXP agents and making those connections. So when I say making connections, yes, make connections with your sphere and with the community and the people around you, but also make connections with your EXP agents, because those are great referral partners. There's referrals flying all over the place on those workplace groups. And those who are on top of it and can make those connections are going to get those. And I'd say we probably got, and nothing crazy, but I would say at least about $1.5 million in transactions just from doing that. And it's awesome. And now that EXPCon's coming up, I'm making all these connections with realtors who we've been chatting back and forth on Workplace, and now we get to meet in real life halfway across the United States. And that's one thing we've added on that is different from past years, is we're utilizing the workplace referral groups.
Awesome, and I would second that as well. Use that, and don't just put your name down, guys. Call them, reach out, be a person. Everybody that just lists a whole bunch of people, that's not how you do business. But you got to meet, make a relationship. Kristen, what are you doing different?
Yeah, I agree there, Heidi. It's overwhelming when you get kind of just lost in the mix of just a bunch of names. If you want to differentiate yourself there, like you guys are both saying, just to get reach out and make a phone call. It's great. One of the things that we've done different this year that's really worked well for us is partnering with builders. We're all experiencing the low inventory. So we are seeing a tremendous amount of success in the partnerships that we've been able to cultivate. with builders because there's just really simply no other options because of there not being any inventory, that we're having to go out there and create it and build it. So I don't know what our, I'll have to go run that stat. That's an interesting thing. I'm gonna write that down to see what percentage of new builds we're doing versus resales right now. You know, when you are kind of going, I guess when you're marketing in that direction, you're going in that direction, selling in that direction, what comes of that, of course, are going to be subsequent, you know, listings. And I didn't quite realize the magnitude of that partnership and how much would come from that. I mean, maybe they don't build with that particular builder, but they're unrepresented and they want to build with another builder. And so then there's just opportunities all over the place. So I would encourage everyone to partner up with some of their local custom builders at different price points and just, again, start to develop that relationship.
Danielle, what would you add?
I would bounce off of Kristen's and say, if you're going to work with new builds, for us here in Phoenix, Arizona, the new home builders, unless they're custom home builders, are lowering their percentages and working with realtors because they are doing so much advertising online and getting their getting buyers organically that you kind of have to get in front of that. So what I would say is, if you're going to do new builds, I would advertise communities on your website, on your Facebook pages, and try and get people to understand that you are a new build expert, and the information that you can give them that they may not know when they walk into an office, make sure they know that the seller, the representative in the office is representing the builder. They're not representing them. So you might be able to gain some clients in that direction as well. I do hand out business cards. I saw a question in the chat, do you hand out business cards? Yeah, I do. I have business cards with me all the time. When I go places, if I have a conversation and I'm wearing my shirt, I always hand out a business card. Hey, if you ever have any need for any real estate, please don't hesitate to give me a call. And that actually has gotten me some business as well. So I know there was a realtor in Salt Lake City that she became #1 in Salt Lake area because she made sure she handed out 20 business cards a day. And the greatest place to do that is the Home Depot, Lowe's parking lots, because builders, remodelers, all of those people that are flipping homes, they're all at Home Depot and Lowe's getting their materials. So if you meet a couple people in the parking lot and just say, hey, I'm looking for some handymen and I'm looking for some tradesmen that I can work with and have for my clients, you know, what do you do? And they can tell you what they do. Oh, I'm a plumber. What? Oh, okay, great. I'm a realtor. If you need any real estate, let me know. And can I have your card? Because I would love to put you in my database as a resource. You know, it's really easy. It takes a little time, but this woman, 20 cards a day, and she became #1 in Salt Lake. So I think that is a great idea if you have time on your hands and you're a new agent.
That's awesome. That's a great idea. So there's somebody sitting in this audience right now and they feel like they're failing. Their business is failing, and that's happened to all of us, and don't feel alone. So when your business is failing or something is falling behind, where do you ladies go for a booster? Well, how do you pick yourself back up? Tannen?
You know what? I'm pretty lucky that we've got a group of us EXP agents that meet twice a week through Zoom video calls. And we meet Mondays to get us on a jump start for our week. And then Thursdays is kind of an accountability. So I would say, get a tribe of agents, a tribe of people. And it doesn't even have to be real estate agents, but a tribe of somebody who's going through what you're going through as far as building your business through sales, because sales is tough. Let's be honest. It's not for everybody, and you do get rejection at times. And there's times where you have people who, friends, family, or whatever, may use somebody else and they didn't use you, and it's kind of like a punch to the stomach a little bit. Or maybe you haven't gotten a phone call all week and you're not used to that. So I would say what I do is I pour into my tribe and they pour into me, and we hold each other accountable every week. And every time we start our weekly sessions, we start with a win. Everybody's got to go around and say a win, because just hearing your win and having to think of one and hearing everybody else's, it kind of puts you in a more of a positive mood and kind of gives you a little push, a jump start to, you know what, get back out there, shake it off, get back out there. So I lean into my tribe. And if you don't have one, make one, get other people.
How about you, Kristen?
Yeah,
Where do you go?
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when you asked the question was just to lean in. Lean in with tribe, go make a tribe. I love that. I mean, we use the word tribe in our office quite frequently. There's nothing better than the power of community. And oftentimes in this business, you know, you're thrown out there to the wolves, and you know, you're out there on this island, and you've got to switch that up, and the power's within you. And I think the other piece of advice I give myself often when I feel like I'm failing is to just kind of regroup my mindset and go, Kristen, like, stop paying attention to what's happening outside of your control, or stop paying attention to what's happening outside of your team. Sure, you want to pay attention to competition numbers and stuff like that to a degree. However, I just focus on this little bubble that we've created, and it's just where we're happiest. And happy for me drives everything that we do. And when we're not happy, I feel like I fail in other areas. So for us, it's just staying close knit, having community, and having people that are truly and genuinely in your corner and want to see your success, and then being able to reciprocate that back to them.
Excellent. Danielle, how about you?
Well, I'm kind of an A personality, so I lean on myself for pretty much everything. Typically, if I start to see my business start to fall behind, or a little lack of business, it's usually because I am not doing something that I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm overworking and burning out. So I take a spa day and reset, go get a facial and a massage, and then come back refreshed, refocused, and the next day get back into it and figure out, okay, what was I falling behind on? What was I focusing too much attention on? And regroup. Because the only one, when it comes down to it, that you can rely on for sure is yourself. I've been in accountability groups. For me, it's, you know, you have to be committed, and I'm really busy. It's hard to get into that. I have, you know, a son, a husband, a team. It's just hard to be there all the time for an accountability group. So for me, I have to rely on me, and typically it's burnout, and I need to just reset. So resetting and taking care of yourself, it's usually I'm not taking care of myself and just working too hard. So reset, take a breath, refocus, and make sure you're focusing on doing the things. Stop procrastinating or doing other things. And once you refocus, you usually can pull up your bootstraps and get it going again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I will actually try to just remove myself from real estate for just either a day or a weekend, and try to shut it all down, maybe transfer my calls to another agent that will I've asked to help cover me, so that I can have a little bit of time. And even like right now, my husband and I last night, I was like, dude, I think we need to stop watching the news again. I mean, we go through times where if it's just starting to get too negative, then I just need to get that things I can't fix, even though I wish I could. So I just need to shut it off so that I will keep my positive mindset. All right, I'm going to ask one more question, then we'll turn it over to the audience. Tanning, Kristen, Danielle, without getting into too detailed, why do you think new agents fail? What do you think that they might be doing wrong that they're getting caught up on?
I think it's fear that holds people back. And I think it's not being stronger than your excuses, because I know in our market, we've got 21,000 agents, and I don't even think we have 21,000 homes being sold every year in Orlando. So we got a lot of competition. And the ones who are going to go out there and be successful are the ones who are going to be stronger than their excuses and say, you know what, I may not be comfortable asking for business or passing out my card or doing an open house or being assertive in going out there and getting it. Be assertive. You have to have a combination. And I think that's part of it too. There's two types of sales to do. There's one that's an assertive sale where you pick up the phone, you call somebody, you ask them for their business, or you pick up the phone, just call them just to talk to them. And then it leads to talking about real estate, which is really how it should be done, or how we do it. Or knocking on doors or doing open houses. That's more assertive. That's, you're going out there, you're talking face to face or phone to phone. And then there's the more passive side, which is sending out an email, waiting for that response, or sending out a postcard, waiting for that response. I think you need to have a little bit more assertive sales done and a lot less passive. And I think newer agents are kind of scared to do the assertive, so they rely more on the sending out a card or sending out an email and just waiting for the phone to ring. No, you got to go out there and get it.
Awesome. Kristen, what about you? Why do you think new agents fail sometimes?
Yeah, heck yeah, Tiana, that was a fantastic answer. And I'm totally stealing being stronger than your excuses. That's awesome. Just to kind of piggyback on that, I think a lot of agents fail due to a lack of confidence. It's one thing to go through pre-licensing and then to become full broker. It's another thing to get into the real world, where the meat and potatoes of it all really kind of comes to fruition. I think that we all gain confidence in different ways. But maybe it's maybe for an individual agent who's just getting started and is, like, again, like I said earlier, like lost on that island out there, perhaps consider joining a team to see what that picture looks like. There's so much value in a team, and you may find yourself in a place that you never want to leave. One of our agents has been an agent for 14 years and was an individual agent at that. And in the last year has joined our team, and she's thriving. And she says it all the time. We love you so much. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. Because again, it goes back to people, it goes back to community, it goes back to love. So, and then at that, when you have those people around you, you naturally gain that confidence. You then, for the new agents out there, let's say that you decide to join a team. Now you've got the backing of a team that you can say, our team, we have. So it's not I, it's we. And there's a lot of power in that as well. So I see for on my end, it's confidence. I mean, it's find a way to overcome the fear that you may have of that, how am I'm brand new. How can I provide value? So there, I hate to use the fake it till you make it, but I mean, that's what we did. I mean, I pretended, I showcased as much as I could regarding homes and just went out there as though I was the expert and just commanded it. I just commanded the attention. And that first year in real estate, we closed 11.5 million, 38 transactions. So, I say, do everything you can to gain that confidence. And like Tannen said, just release that fear.
How about you, Danielle?
I agree 100% with both of what these ladies said. That was on my notes as well. I think a lot of agents get into this business thinking this is an easy business. You show a house, you get a big paycheck. There's not that much more to it. And the reality of the situation is that they're not explained, how the process is. Most agents don't see a first paycheck for 3 to 6 months. And that's really good if you're trying to do this on your own. I've met people that I've interviewed to be on my team that are overconfident and unwilling to learn. You have to be willing to learn. Don't reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of agents that have been doing this a really long time. They know what they're doing. They know how to be successful. Learn from successful agents. They've already been through the ringer. That will give you more confidence. And if I had to do it all over again, yeah, I agree with Kristen. I would have joined the team because I went through the road of hard knocks. I learned what to do, what not to do. It took me a really long time, a number of years, to be able to become a successful agent because I was doing a lot of the wrong things. I was spending money, putting money at things that didn't work. Instead of just learning from an agent that knew what they were doing. And then you can also sell yourself, and I tell my agents to do this. It's all of my experience, we have 25 years experience combined. One is a brand new agent, but he can say we have 25 years experience on our team. That's sellable. That will also give you the confidence to know that if you're going in a transaction, you have your team lead to lean on to teach you how to do a very competitive contract in a competitive market. All of the nuances of showing a home properly. A lot of people think just showing a home is easy. You just walk in and show it. There's an art to showing a home properly, and a lot of people don't understand that. That's where you lock in your buyers, is when you show them a house like no one else showed them a house, and there's little nuances to do that. So you have to be willing to learn. You have to be able to treat this like a normal job, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. It's not a part-time thing that you're just going to do. You have to put the work in, and you'll get rewards if you don't put it in. And that's, I think, thinking this is too easy is the biggest problem with most new agents.
And I would piggyback everything all of you ladies have said. I was the broker for Oklahoma this last year and had 450 agents that I was overseeing everything that they were doing. And here's where I would tell you, I think that some of the agents are failing. They believe that there's a magic pill out there. They believe that there's a magic lead source that I can buy and everything is just going to come to me. And they come to these meetings and they hear everything that you said, which are tried and true, and then you discount them. You know, it's still each one. We're always come back to our sphere. You got to stay on top of it. You got to work your business. And none of that is sexy, but it is the truth of what you need to do. So there is no magic pill in this business. You got to work it. You got to work it hard. You got to keep working it. So I'm going to turn it over. First and foremost, I want to thank these ladies very, very much. One, yes, you're an EXP, your production makes you an icon, but really the true thing that makes you an icon is people that give back. You can make this, but you're not necessarily an icon unless you're giving back. And these ladies are all up here giving you an hour of their time, letting you see their business. So if you ever have a referral, reach out to them first, if you would, give them a shot. But now we're going to turn it over to you. Either open up your mic or put in the chat box. We've got 7 minutes. Do you have any specific questions? If it's for somebody, maybe put their name so that we know who it is, or just shout it out and we'll try to answer it for you. Ladies,
Thank you, Heidi.
You're welcome.
Are you guys all going to EXPCon in November?
I
am. I hope to meet you ladies there.
Yay. Yes, I can't wait to meet you guys too.
Yes, we are as well.
And Kristen, I had posted a picture of our ICONversations platform yesterday saying I was going to be on this, and one of my girlfriends here says, "Oh, I love Kristen Vining." So I don't know how she knows you, but
oh,
you got fans awesome in Orlando.
Well, I went to Central Florida, so yeah, still have a lot of family and connections down there. That's fantastic.
Do you have any questions from the audience?
I have a question.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead, Linda or Missy.
Sorry. I'd like to know how you guys are handling or whatever. How are you handling the COVID questions when you're dealing with new clients? Are you asking them if they're vaccinated, or are you showing up in masks? How are you guys handling that in your markets?
I always have a mask with me, but I leave it up to them. I'm vaccinated and I ask what they're comfortable with.
I agree. You ask the client what they're comfortable with, and either you mask or not mask. I personally think that asking if someone's vaccinated is infringing on their personal rights, and I don't have a right to do that.